The National Study of Millionaires surveyed over 10,000 millionaires. What were the top 3 professions? Accountant, engineer, and you'll never believe it, school teachers. What? I made a video last week studying the top jobs that 6-figure and 7-figure teachers do. And I felt really called to make a video on the 10 things that I learned studying millionaire teachers. So from that video, and then what I've learned from books like Think and Grow Rich, The Millionaire Next Door, and You're a Badass at Making Money, I've compiled why some teachers have become millionaires and how you and I can do it too. Are you ready? Let's go. What's up? It's Danie of Hey Danie J. I help people build lives of freedom through teaching online and also building scalable brands on YouTube. The first thing that I learned from studying teacher millionaires is that they really are innovators and they find holes in the market. They look at what's being done, they question the status quo, and they said, could things be done differently? And they look at different markets and they see, is everyone being served, or are there people that aren't being served at all or need to be served better? In an interview with EdTech Digest, Paul Edelman, who is the founder of Teachers Pay Teachers, said, I knew that I would pay for materials created by teachers if they were only made available, but they weren't. So what'd he do? He created Teachers Pay Teachers so that teachers could share their resources, because before, that was a market that wasn't being served. He found a hole, he filled it, and look, he's built a crazy successful business, and there are many teachers who become millionaires just from selling on Teachers Pay Teachers, which we'll get into. The second thing that I learned from studying millionaire teachers is that they pick just one main side hustle to invest their time in before moving on to anything else. Now, if you're like me, you probably heard me talk about squirrel brain. I have squirrel brain, I've got loads of different ideas, but you really have to just pick one thing and hone in on it, master it, and then move on. If you try and start with all of the things, unfortunately, you're gonna fail at all of the things. For me, I invested my time in YouTube. I knew that it was the best place to really grow a brand. It's the second largest search engine in the world, and so I learned YouTube down to a T, and now I make 4 different streams of income through YouTube. 3 of them are passive. And so if you are wanting to get on YouTube, make sure that you grab my free YouTube cheat sheet, and it's a starting guide to really help you start on a strong foundation. But anyway, I started with that one thing, and that's what millionaire teachers do too. They pick that one thing and they hone in on it, they learn it before they move on to something else. The third thing that I learned from studying millionaire teachers is that they live below their means and they practice something called social indifference. Dina Jump is a first grade teacher, and she became a millionaire through selling her resources on Teachers Pay Teachers. And I watched an interview that she did on CNN, and she talked about how their lifestyle hasn't changed at all. She still drives the same Kia van and still works the same job. They didn't move houses or anything like that. They live below their means, but she said now we're able to pay our bills every month without any worries. And that is really the vital thing that millionaire teachers do, is that they live below their means. Thomas Stanley of The Millionaire Next Door's famous quote is, whatever your income, always live below your means. Now, I gave the word social indifference. That means that you don't change your spending habits based off of the other livelihoods that you see around you. So you're not trying to keep up with the Joneses, you are more frugal. Though I will say, everybody should invest kind of in one boss outfit that makes you feel powerful, but that's just me. The fourth thing that I learned from studying millionaire teachers is that they use their authentic story and personality to create a space for them in whatever niche or market they are in. So I like to call this the 3 S's, and that's something we learn in my program, and that's your strengths, your story, and your struggles. And this is something that a lot of teachers now with brands are doing. They're showing up as their authentic selves, and they're realizing that their unique perspective is really gonna pull in their ideal audience. And if you've never read Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller, please read it. It is so good, and he dives into all of these different concepts way more eloquently than I ever could. Nowadays, people buy people, they don't buy products. So number 4 is a really great lesson to learn. The fifth thing that I learned from studying millionaire teachers is that, man, they do not give up. They are persistent and consistent. I think my favorite story of this is the story of Jack Ma, who's the founder of Alibaba. He is worth, I think, $25 billion, but he got told no a lot in his life. He was actually an English teacher at one point, so he counts as a teacher here. It took him 3 years to get accepted into university, and then when he got out of university, it took him forever to get a job. There's an infamous story of how he applied for a job at KFC, and 24 people applied, and 23 people got the job. Everyone except for Jack Ma. He was denied from being a police officer, and he even started 2 businesses prior to Alibaba that both failed. So if he would have given up, he would not be worth billions that he is now. But in the true fashion of entrepreneurship, he kept going and he didn't take no for an answer. When one door closed, he found the next door. This is also important to note that building up to being a millionaire really takes grit and it takes persistence and consistency. The sixth thing that I learned from studying Millionaire teachers goes along with lesson 5, and that's that they don't get bogged down by the small details. They think big and they think big picture. I love this quote from Jen Sincero. She says, worrying is praying for stuff you want. Millionaires, they worry, but they don't get bogged down by it, right? They think big and they move on fast. And that's what we need to do too. The seventh thing that I learned from studying Millionaire teachers is that they really care about serving others. I had Casey Morse on my channel who's built $1 million teacher business. And she said, things really started to scale for me when I let go of numbers and I thought, how can I best serve others? And I love this quote by Thomas Stanley of the Millionaire Next Door. He says, I'm not impressed with what people own, but I'm impressed with what they achieve. Always strive to be the best in your field. Don't chase money. If you're the best in your field, money will find you. And I think being the best in your field usually comes down to also really caring about serving others, bringing your best every day so that you can best help others. And that is really going to help you achieve success. The eighth thing that I learned from studying Millionaire teachers is that they have positive money mindset. And this is something that I'm constantly working on for myself, because if you don't have good money mindset now, it's going to be really difficult when you have more money, right? If you can't handle the money you've got now, what do you expect to do with it when you have more? So something that I love and that really stuck with me was when I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Robert Kiyosaki talks about how his rich dad told him to never say that you can't afford something. Never say, I can't afford that. Ask yourself, how can I afford it? Really, that makes a big shift. It allows you to get creative and realize it's not that you can't afford it, it's that how can you afford it? I like that. Poor mentality says I can't afford it. Rich mentality says how can I, and gets creative. The ninth thing that I learned from online teachers is that they really love what they do. And all the people I studied, I can tell they just have a heart for the things that they're putting out, whatever they're selling, whatever they're offering. I can tell they are wholeheartedly invested. And I love this quote from Jen Sincero again. She says, believe that you are worthy of financial freedom. Do something you love, and then all you ever have to do is be yourself to succeed. Oof. If you sell something you love, then you just sell love, not a product or service, and that will show. And I want you to think of some of your favorite teacher businesses. It does show, right? When you can tell they really care about what they're doing, you feel that. And again, it goes back to people by people, not products. Now, the 10th, and I think the most important lesson that I learned from studying Millionaire teachers, and just millionaires in general, is that they really invest their money wisely. According to Ramsey Solutions, 3 out of 4 millionaires said that regular, consistent investing over a long period of time is the reason for their success. Going along with that, millionaires invest in their financial literacy. I read an article by CNBC called How One Teacher Became a Self-Made Millionaire by 36. And he had this quote, this millionaire teacher, he said, by the time I was in my mid-30s, I'd read more than 400 books about personal finance and investing money. That's a lot of books, right? It is so important that we invest in our financial literacy and in learning from people who have come before us. So if you are looking for some good resources for financial literacy, one of my favorites is Minority Mindset. Awesome YouTube channel, awesome Instagram account. Also, one of my former clients, Allison Joanna, has an awesome channel where she gives budgeting and financial tips for freelance artists. Definitely check her out. This video really inspired me and reminded me that it is not that hard to build wealth. We just have to be very, very careful about how we are spending our money, our time, and our energy. If you didn't get it yet, be sure to grab my starting on YouTube cheat sheet. Again, second largest search engine in the world. I'm making 4 different streams of income right now through it. I love getting on YouTube. Best decision I ever made. That cheat sheet's gonna help you start off in a really strong foundation. While you wait for next week's video, be sure to check out these other videos, and I will see you next week.